While I was playing about 40 minutes of Hellblade 2 during a visit to Ninja Theory's studio in Cambridge, England, I was enthralled. Unlike the first game, which saw Senua, a picked warrior with psychosis, struggling to fight her way through Helheim, Hellblade 2 grounds Senua in Iceland. From what I saw, this change pulls the focus away from the tantalizing mythology brought to life through Senua's delusions in the first game, and instead centers her conflicts in a more recognizable world. In response, Senua's movements in combat look and feel more realistic, prioritizing the heft of her sword felt through her tired desperation during lengthier fights. Whenever Senua clashes swords with someone, Hellblade 2 makes it feel tense, as if life itself is challenging Senua to earn her right to exist in this world. This was most evident in the final moments of the preview, which saw Senua attempting to free a prisoner from a group of Vikings. Her action sparked a prison break, engulfing the area in smoke, blood, and screams. I had to guide Senua through an onslaught of foes, some wielding traditional weapons like axes and swords, while others used torches to spew fire. Much like the first game, Senua doesn't face more than one enemy at a time, so huge battles are structured as a series of back-to-back duels. You'd think a decision like this would make combat easier, but nothing could be further from the truth. Hellblade 2 is hard. It's not as tricky to grasp as more action-oriented games, but enemies are quick to take advantage of your mistakes, parrying weak strikes and immediately counter-attacking, for example, or using wide sweeping attacks that are difficult to dodge without precise timing. Even though there's only ever one target, it often feels like Senua is surrounded as the camera zooms in for a very close, over-the-shoulder perspective, and the whispering advice of the psychosis-created Valkyries bombard Senua. The music contributes to this as well, building in volume and rhythm the longer a fight plays out, until the reverberating heartbeat of the background vocals swell with the killing blow. It's almost like the music itself is encroaching on you, only relieving the pressure once the fight is over. I could feel my heart racing during moments where Senua would push past an attacker, momentarily putting Senua's opponent into her periphery, where you can still kind of see them, but there's that brief moment of terror where you're frantically turning around to get the opponent back into full view. Combat is also made more exciting with new abilities for Senua. My favorite comes from an especially poignant moment in the preview when Senua was reminded of her childhood home, sending her mind back to that space. There she remembered and recovered a small mirror which she used to focus as a young girl. Coming back to the present, Senua unlocked the ability to use the mirror to focus, temporarily slowing enemies long enough to land a combo of attacks. Unleashing focus creates this beautiful explosion of reflective shards and shimmering runes that then encase an enemy, thematically insinuating that Senua is giving the target her complete attention, much in the same way she did her reflection as a child. In that moment, the enemy slows, and Senua's slashes chip away at their shining prison, typically culminating in Senua overcoming the enemy with a burst of strength and a primal scream. It's beautiful. It's badass. It adds meaningful narrative context to battles, while also making the tougher ones far more approachable. The mirror is just one aspect of the game that keeps Hellblade 2 firmly in the genre of dark fantasy. Senua still must complete environmental puzzles to progress in the world, scouring the immediate area for landmarks that remind her of the shape of certain runes to remove magical obstacles, or noticing patterns in the mountainside that hint at secret passages. My favorite are the faces, protrusion of rock that Senua's psychosis convinces her are a human face. If she approaches them and focuses on the face, she surmises her mind is painting a pattern that isn't actually there, revealing a tunnel through which she can proceed. This aspect of the game isn't as challenging as the combat, instead providing a brief respite to catch your breath and soak in the tantalizing atmosphere. I didn't find these moments as rewarding as the combat, as the riddles I solved seemed fairly simple and straightforward, while the dance-like puzzles of each fight pushed me to think quickly and strategically in the heat of the moment. But I also think Hellblade 2 needs those quiet moments, if only to once again tighten the tension as the game leads to its next duel. In addition, these quieter moments provide opportunities for Senua to reflect and check in with her allies, whether they're one of the new NPCs or the Valkyries. And of everything I saw, that's what excited me the most. The Valkyries felt more like adversarial allies in the first game, but now they feel more akin to true companions. There's clearly been a shift in power between Senua and the psychosis-driven voices in her head, one that builds on the final moments of the first game. I'm eager to see how that dynamic might change or evolve in Hellblade 2.
Why are they watching?
It's time to find out.
What are they waiting for?
Senua, what are you waiting for?
Truly, this game cannot come soon enough. I can't remember the last time a game preview left me so excited to dive into the full experience.